Algos will throw up whatever is being fed, and the more money you have, the more it will be fed to you. But at the same time, when the product or that experience is being utilized, what happens is people start talking about it. There's online chatter, there is review mechanism, there is stars, there's this and all that. So the next level of iteration starts happening. So the real way to do it is, what he's trying to say is that journey is accelerated, number one. The collation of that NPS, what do you call that? What did the professor earlier said that you do in FMCG?
As attitude usage study.
Brand equity.
Brand equity study.
All that stuff is being collated a lot more faster, real time through this digital media. And the real challenge with AI is that it will give you, while there are these 10 Mexican restaurants in these areas, majority of the people have given a 5-star rating to this. So the product that is the most acceptable one will come up as a answer to your question. That should be the ideal way. But there are ways to beat it. If you have money, you can say that will not come, but my product will come up. That's what the problem with this whole thing is. So if we beat that and use it ethically, the answer is correct. What you guys are saying is absolutely bang.
But by the way, I just saw Pakistan is spending 800 crores on algos and create, a huge amount of media blitz through the algos. It's happening on the internet. Their budget is 800 crores. No,
I'll give you a classic case of example in this context. There are two companies. I hope none of us are from that company. One, I'll use the earlier name that I used, Minimalist. And I'll use an exactly opposite company, Mamaearth products. There was a phase when Mamaearth was flooded all over. All your IPLs, all your TV screens, all your press ads, everything you saw Mamaearth. So much so, and then suddenly a phase came, buy one, get one free. I decided this is the doom of this, because when you are starting to reach that level, gone. And then they come up with the IPO, and today that product is gone. If you look at Minimalist on the other side, they've grown at a much faster because they were backed by the right product. Their products, and I am no voucher for that, I'm talking about what the customers use and all that, and what these Gen Z kids are using these days and all that. So much so in the first year, Hindustan Liver has bought it for 3,000 crores, one brand, just one brand.
So Mamaearth is out of the earth.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, let me just kind of...
They came, by the way, they came with an IPO, made their money.
I don't think the story is yet written. Hold on. So we'll see. And this is one of the points. No, I'm not from Mamaearth, so don't worry. Okay. So but I'm just saying I've seen this cycle many times. And done this cycles many times to be able to say that. But just let me kind of do. And because I have not done the last session, and I don't know how you all do, I'm going to talk more like a businessman. Yeah, then I'm not going to talk. So one is that there are things like the 10-minute delivery system which came in. It's a platform. I won't talk about Algo and others, but without a back end which kind of schedules and able to reach that, you will never be able to create a brand, hold the brand. So there will be these kind of products which will be an algo based and algo improved. So this will be one set of things. Second, I'm indeed in Cloud 9 as a director. Okay. And that I can do. And they're the mom and me, right? Mom and the experience that they create. Now, many of that, as they do, algorithm should be able to, amplify that brand image. But experience of birth, they can't co-create. So it is a co-creation where one-to-many could only happen by algorithm. So over a period of time, they will kind of do that. So this is where algorithm and persona meets. It has an each individual story, and then you can say Lalita ji after old style, right? Hold on, sir. Yeah, so can do. The third perspective is of Mahindra Holidays, where I create magical moments. So you cannot amplify theory. There you have to amplify persona. Every magical moment is the 1P1 that you create, and that has to be amplified. So this is the third portion. The fourth dimension that I wanted to point is, as you look at AI, you're not in our algo. You're not even cut the basic surface. you are now dealing with known knowns. You will go to known unknowns and unknown unknowns. And I am just making a bigger proposition here that those who are going to deal with known unknowns and unknown unknowns will create that brands. So my theory, for last point was, if Mama Earth discovers that known unknown and unknown unknown, they will make a comeback.
Very, very good point, actually, because I mean, in the previous session, we were talking about creation of brand loyalty, and this timeshare. Okay, when Mahindra Holidays came into being, and when they started doing that, there were a lot of companies who came into this timeshare options and all that, and slowly, I don't know how many purchased, and many died away. But Mahindra Holidays continued to survive, and now they are. I think they are offering very, very good services to a lot of people, and I'm sure every individual is
That
a
brand
customer.
also has to evolve. So, for example,
It
what
did.
was 25-year product will not work in the.
Yes, absolutely. And they're doing that because now they've gone beyond to say that they give you a nudge. They say you've only taken, so many holidays. There's so much of pending. Why don't you go? Shall we do something for you? And they start nudging you the moment you've touched them on their web, on use their login ID password, and then you will get a flood of messages from them. They're doing that already.
But coming back, these are all pushing you to that, but it's not unless the product pulls you or is backed by what you want.
The discussion was about Mama Earth. I know the folks a bit more closer. That's nothing emotional that way. Yeah. So Varun is an XLRI alumnus. I'm his batchmate. So we come from the same campus. He started with Unilever, by the way. And Unilever was, and I know because I managed as a placement rep Unilever on campus. They were just running after him so that he can join in. I have no second thoughts that things will come back out there because, of what we know. Second, he has a, yeah, all of us did, us because of emotion. But importantly, of course, if we are talking brand, if you look at brand association, right, a fellow comes from XLRI, Unilever, etc., which is they targeted a product which is, comes from a niche, which has its own niche and etc. That's there. But we are talking brand, not about the individuals and so on. Still do see opportunities available. Now, let me talk a bit about the organization where I am, and which is publicly available. Of course, I can't share many things that way. So I come from FedEx, right? And if you talk of any overnight deliveries, etc., of in logistics segments, FedEx comes in. FedEx kar diya. So if you look at in Europe, US, the conversation is FedEx it. So that's the brand which has been created. Each of the aircraft, actually, if you see of FedEx, it's written the world on time. So this and it is what the cost is very clearly. It's a premium parcel cargo organization, very clearly. So what it commits to the customers is on time delivery. That more than X percentage of, that's a brand promise, brand loyalty, and that's what keeps pushing in. The few days when it comes to algo, etc. Many a times it picks up the information on its own. Recently, what we did, because of course India is a big market, we want to grow in this part of the world. We have for long been operating through partners out here. We've we got into a strategic partnership with CSK, Chennai Super Kings. Of course, I'm not talking about the performance right now, but fact is, if you see the jersey on the back you can see FedEx, which is written. Looking at that, and if we look at our numbers from the recall, especially on Instagram, etc. CSK has a large CSK, RCB, MI. They have large followership coming in from the Gen Zs and Gen Alphas. Suddenly, we see a lot of our website is getting hits from this particular group.
set of people. So of course the network is working in that manner. How much will it get converted into, as they say, business? Only time will tell us. But the digital element is definitely playing a big role, is what I can say.
Theoretical model, I'll use it for making sure that we don't become a victim of algo, right? Because at the end of the day, principles of consumer behavior doesn't change.
Yeah.
If you look at brand loyalty, is nothing but a risk reduction strategy. What the consumers do is that there are 5 risks: physical risk, financial risk, emotional risk, psychological risk, and financial risk. Consumers are basically trying to reduce any of the risk. So if I look at a woman buying a cosmetics, lipstick, for her, physical risk is very important and psychological risk. Now, the brand, whichever company that's doing it, earlier they've been doing it in a particular fashion by giving them a confidence that this will protect you. Now, with algo coming in, there are going to be lots of guys who are going to give this risk reduction optimization model in a way that the lady would be able to take a decision. Okay, this seems to be better, this seems to be better. So they can skip through the various brands which are posing as a better brand. As and when some other brand gives me a better idea saying, oh, I'm going to be much more safer than, so I will use this lipstick or this cosmetics. Same thing if you look at a refrigerator you're buying, a household will buy financial risk. Like they are going to do huge amount of search to make sure that I buy this, will I lose money or service will be available. Algo can make them like chat GPT you do, like they're going to give you a huge amount of information. So the brand, if it's not going to be the best among the best, you're going to lose out. So at the end of the day, frankly, in my opinion, consumer decision-making model doesn't change. The algos are only accelerating that information that is being given.
Purchase process.
That's going to
Decision.
get you out of the market.
I've got questions around this. You are the experts in this. Is it to do with brand recall? Or what do we target when we use these algos?
So, for example, today SEO is dead. It's AEO in the sense that the first earlier SEO used to rank web pages. Today you have Gemini giving you in the top fold of the page its own recommendations. Now, how can you be part of that recommendation? Automatically creates a lot of authenticity and trust. Now, the back end to it is a lot more technical than your traditional brand and saliency building. You need to have meta tags. You need to have a particular headline. You need to have no, actually, it's a lot of architecture, to be honest. That's an easy way out. But I'm saying for long-term slow burn, if you're a startup brand and you want to build it, bottom up, there are ways to build it. Like, for example, yeah. Of course, yeah, agreed. Like IPL is a best way, it's the fastest way to get reach, right? Yeah. So that's why most of the startups are on IPL.
Costliest.
Also, yeah.